I've been using the PS5 for almost a year now. I was one of the lucky ones that actually got the PS5 on the first launch. Unfortunately, a lot of people haven't still gotten to the PS5, which is really sad. But really, is the PS5 actually worth it after using it for a year now? Starting with the design, Sony wanted the PS5 to stand out. It's bold and it screams,
"Please, I want to be special. Don't let me be like everybody else."
Now, the white cover plastic on the PS5, I mean, even though it looks good, I was not really a big fan of it because, white stains easily. But I'm surprised to see how well it has held for almost a year now. Now, the black cover plastic in the middle is fingerprint city, but I'm a big fan of the grills on the side of the PS5 for the heat management. It looks dope. Over the years, it has accumulated a little bit of dust, which is kind of normal unless you're living in the North Pole. But overall, I will give the design of the PlayStation 5 a 8 out of 10. Now, let's turn on the PS5. Now, one of the reasons I love the PS5 is the silence. The only time the fan kicks up is when you initially turn on the PS5 and when you initially turn on the game. And that's just for a couple of seconds. After that, it's silence all through. You're only going to appreciate this if you're coming from the PlayStation 4. I remember when I was using the PlayStation 4, those things sounded like jet engines and you're going to get distracted every time you're playing the game. Like, it's unbearable. So, as for the interface of the PlayStation 5, it's quite different from the PlayStation 4. I cannot really remember everything in details. I've not used the PlayStation 4 in over a year now, but I know coming over to the PlayStation 5 would take a little bit of an adjustment. I mean, it only took me like a day, but I remember on the PlayStation 4, to turn off the PlayStation 4 console, you have to long press the PS button, which then brings up the menu to turn it off, put it to sleep or hibernation mode or whatever the last option is. But on the PlayStation 5, if you long press the PS button, it's only going to take you to the main menu, and that's if you're like in the game settings or you're in the system setting itself or anywhere apart from the main menu. To turn off the PS5, it's just a single press on the PS button. You then navigate your way to the power option. I mean, it's quite an extra step, but for the most part, the interface of the PlayStation 5 is simple. I mean, the PlayStation Store is all the way to the left, followed by your games, which is quite obvious on the main menu. Then I think the last one is the PlayStation Library, which I do not really use. And speaking of games, the amount of games you can actually install on the PS5 is not a lot. Even though the box says 1 terabyte, you really only have 667 gigabytes, which is not a lot of space for games. Before recently, that Sony allowed for installation of internal SSD. I mean, the only option we had was to play PS4 games on external SSD or transfer some of our PS5 games to an external SSD. You couldn't play PS5 games from an external SSD or external hard drive. You can only transfer them when you don't need them and install the PS5 games you actually needed, which is kind of an hassle. But now recently you can actually install an external SSD and play games from the external SSD, which is actually very cool. I haven't installed an external SSD on my own because I'm not really an hardcore gamer like that, so the space is not really an issue. I mean, it's not a lot, but at the same time, I really only play Call of Duty, Battlefield, and maybe God of War. Anyways, when the PS5 was launched, there was a lot of hype behind the PS5, and that's because of its ability to play in 4K, 120Hz, and it also has ray tracing. Well, it can't do all three at the same time, but there are two modes on the PlayStation 5, performance mode and resolution mode. Performance mode prioritizes frame rate over resolution. But in resolution mode, it prioritizes resolution over frame rate. So in resolution mode, you get ray tracing turned on. For the kind of games that I play, which are action-packed games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, I don't really have time to be checking for my reflection, or if my reflection actually looks like me. So for the most part, my PS5 has been on performance mode since day one. To be honest, gaming on the PS5 has been nothing but amazing. Games load faster on the PlayStation 5. Even old PS4 games load faster and smoother on the PlayStation 5, which is really amazing. I haven't experienced any lag since I've gotten the PS5, and that is really incredible. Now, when it comes to the graphic quality, I haven't really noticed a difference from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5 yet, and that's because for the most part it really comes down to the game developers themselves. I mean, it's going to run faster and smoother on the PS5 because of the faster processor, but in terms of like the graphic quality of the characters themselves, I didn't really notice a massive difference. Maybe as time goes on, the graphic of the PS5 will get better than the PS4, because of the new and faster processor. But for now, the graphics of the PS5 and the PS4 are still comparable, at least in my opinion. I mean, there's a reason why Sony still sells the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. They are still amazing console. I mean, in fact, most of the games that are on PS5, most of them are also on the PlayStation 4. That is saying something. Now, let's talk about the controller of the PlayStation 5. Like the console itself, it stands out from everything that's out there. I really love the black and white color. I mean, The only thing I would say is that it stains easily, but I try to clean it every week. As you can see, mine is a little bit stained right now, but that's not really a problem since I can just wipe it down easily. And I also love the transparent buttons on the PlayStation 5. It's really a nice touch. But the thing I appreciate most about this controller is that it charges with USB-C. I love anything that charges with USB-C. I can easily charge it with the charger of my MacBook or something like that. I really love it. Now, the battery is not really the best out there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't really say out there because this is the only console I've used. I've not really used an Xbox or something like that. But the battery is not really great. I'm going to give the battery maybe a 6, maximum a 7 out of 10. Now, what really makes this controller stand out is the adaptive trigger feature. It immerses you into the game by giving you feedback on movement, contacts, and feels. It's really amazing. You need to try it in a shooting game like Call of Duty. Different guns has a different feel, like rifles has a different feel from a shotgun or any other gun or a sniper gun or something like that. In fact, for the most part, the only thing PS4 users are missing from the PS5 is this controller. It's just different. Although I do not really use it in multiplayer games like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that, because I mean, you need to be really good to use the adaptive trigger in the multiplayer mode. I only use it in the campaign mode. In multiplayer, it kind of slows me down a little bit, so I kind of turn it off anytime I'm playing in a multiplayer mode or something like that. Now, is the PS5 worth it? Yes and no. Yes, because obviously the PlayStation 5 is a better console. It has a faster processor, that's a faster SSD, which makes games load faster, and other features. And not really, because for the most part, most of the games that are being released, the PS4 can handle them just as fine as the PlayStation 5. Maybe in the next 2 or 5 years, maybe games then requires more graphic performance. Yeah, maybe the PS4 won't be able to catch up with the PS5. But for now, most of the games that are being released, the PS4 it's still a very good console. I mean, like I said, there's a reason why Sony still sells the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, and most of the games that are being released, there's a PS4 version and there's a PS5 version, and for the most part, they play smoothly. At least my friend has a PS4, and I mean, apart from the noise, the game experience is really good. I mean, the PS5 won't turn a boring game into an exciting one. If it's boring on the PS4, it's going to be boring on the PS5. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys for taking your time to watch this video. If you enjoyed this video, kindly please drop me a like, and if you want to consider subscribing, I'll really appreciate that. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. My name is 11. Peace. 1, 2, 3, let's go.